Well, friends, good evening. In continuation of our discussion on the Consumer Protection Act, we will now discuss the definition of service. What is a service here? Because this particular aspect we have seen under D, 2 and D, where a consumer buys any goods or avails any services. So here, goods means which is movable, and Sale of Goods Act defines, and then that particular aspect need not be gone into, even though 2(1)(I) deals with goods as it is defined in Sale of Goods Act. However, here is a case where services, where there is a specific definition has been given under 2(1)(O), multifarious activities are covered here. Service means service of any description which is made available to potential users and includes but not limited to, so it is expansive, the provision of facilities in connection with banking, financing, insurance, transport, processing, supply of electrical or other energy, board or lodging or both, housing construction, entertainment, amusement, or the purveying of news or other information, but does not include rendering of any service free of charge or under a contract of personal service. Contract for service is different, contract of service is different here. You have to make out a distinction. So contract for is different. Contract of personal service is something different. That is between a servant maid and then a particular householder. That is contract of personal service. A contract for service, medical, insurance, all kinds of issues would be covered in that particular definition. So, other than contract of personal service, you can say rest of the services would be covered under this particular definition. So, service in here has been given a very wider meaning. And then the next important thing, my dear friends, the unfair trade practices, section 2(1)(R). This is a concept developed under the erstwhile MRTP Act, and then which has been given a very wider publicity subsequently, and then which has been entrusted to the consumer fora to give succor to the affected consumers. Unfair trade practice under 2(1)(R) means a trade practice which, for the purpose of promoting the sale, use, or supply of any goods, or for the provisions of any services, adopts any unfair method or unfair or deceptive practice, including any of the following practices. That means in the course of trade commerce business, they adopt deceptive or unfair trade practices. What are the practices have been enumerated into multifarious activities, in fact. The practices. One is false representation of the goods of a particular standard, quality, quantity. Next, this is under 2(1)(R)(1), wherein there are as many as 10 such kind of things have been given, and then it further continues with subsection. It's a very wider section, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So, this could be an essay type question. You have to make an exercise, wherein the first one is false representation. Second is false representation that the services are of a particular kind and standard. Next is it represents any rebuilt, second hand, renovated, reconditioned or old goods as new goods. This is nothing but cheating. Fourth one represents the goods have sponsorship, approval, performance, or accessories or benefits, but actually it's not. That is called falsely concealing the actual thing and then presenting it. It represents that the seller or the supplier has a sponsorship or approval of or affiliation with a particular seller or supplier, but it is not correct. Makes a false or misleading representation concerning the need for usefulness of goods or services. Gives to the public any warranty or guarantee of the performance. Makes to the public representation in a form that purports to be a warranty or a promise to replace, maintain, or repair, but it is not the case in truth. Materially misleading, gives false or misleading facts disparaging the goods. Then the statement which comes under this category, disparaging goods, says expressed on an article offered or displayed for sale or wrapper or such kind of things, but it is not true. These are all stated under 2:1 or 1 Roman small 1 to 10. Then 2:1 or 2 says the particular practices permitting the publication of any advertisement, whether in newspaper or otherwise, for the sale of supply or bargain price of goods or services, but that are not intended to be offered. False in fact propaganda. Advertisement. Here bargaining price has been given with an explanation. A price that is stated in any advertisement to be a bargaining price by reference to an ordinary price, or a price that a person who reads, hears or sees the advertisement would reasonably understand to be a bargain price, having regard to the prices at which the product advertised or like product are ordinarily sold. Then permitting the offering of gifts, prizes, such things, the conduct of any contest, lottery, game of chance of skill for the purpose of promoting directly or indirectly the sale, use or supply of any product or business interest. Then friends, 3A, withholding from the participants of any scheme offering gifts, prizes. And here explanation has been given. The participants of a scheme shall be deemed to have been informed of the final result, where such results are within a reasonable time or published prominently in the same newspapers. Then subsection 4 says permits the sale or supply of goods intended to be used or of a kind likely to be used by consumers, knowing or having reason to believe that the goods do not comply with the standards. Permitting the hoarding or destruction of goods, manufacture of spurious goods, or offering such goods for sale or adopting deceptive practices. I request you friends to thoroughly study 2:1 or under this further subclauses 1 with Roman small 1 to 10 explanation ABC, followed by subsections 2 to 6, which will tell you the different examples of unfair trade practices. I advise you to put subheadings in each one and then make out an explanation. Do a little exercise at home, enough time you have now, so that would give a foolproof answer in the examination point of view. Now friends, in the next part, that is part 6, I will cover the liability of companies to consumers and then final rounding up of this legislation. Thank you.